It is by no accident that you're watching this, my friend. I'd be willing to bet that in your relentless quest for self improvement, you have tried many things, like yoga, meditation, maybe even wasted time and money on a shrink that changed very little in the end. What if I said that all along you have been looking for just one thing? That is it, and it is the key to unlocking this whole realm. If I asked you right now to state on a scale of 1 to 10, with a single digit repping the worst version of you that you can imagine, and double as thee doing it big, living out your best, firing on all cylinders with a massive grin in a state of radiant health, where would you pick? Note how you knew exactly where you sit. That in and of itself is a hint that we'll refer to as we progress, but before, let's divert to a time most ancient. Way back when, there was a tale of the gods who were scared of the men that prayed to them. They plotted to hide their true strength so they would never, ever rise up and overthrow them. After all, what is a deity without worship? That is the 8 billion soul question, my friend. Now, one of the councils suggested that they place it high, high upon a mountain. The other rejected this, as they said some would invariably make the trek, and it would be the end of them. Another came up with the depths of the ocean and how the pressure would surely kill them before they could link with this eternal gift. He was swiftly rebuffed, as another posited man's tech and inventions, which killed the next seed of hiding their power on the moon before it could even drip from another's lips. They sat in silence, pensive. Eventually, one said, "Why don't we hide it within them?" And thus a plan was set into motion that has been rolling pretty much unchecked from then until now. Sure, there have been those who came along and realized they are not John of Housemith or any other type of limerence. As they clicked, they are the eternal flame within, i.e. pure consciousness. What I'm about to share with you is the most powerful technique I know for creating profound, lasting, and beneficial change from your prime point of origin down to the submolecular level of your being. It involves time travel and a whole load of interesting things, but what is best is each journey is totally individual, but starts out the same. It is also not expensive, doesn't require much investment of time or such things, but can pay immense beneficial dividends by ending loads of suffering, by pulling out the weeds, root, flower, and stem from your internal garden. All you need is a pad, 2 pens, a candle, and some essential oil, along with a bit of time to glance within. What you will get in return is a direct line connection to your inner child, and they, behind all of the pain, shame, fear, and the rest you dare not admit, hold the keys to the kingdom of your inner sense. This is the first practice I share with every client to test their commitment, to see if they truly wish to think and live different, or if they're just faking the funk. Scale of 1 to 10. Recollect? A lot of spiritual bypass artists skip this step as it reveals everything they've suppressed, so be warned, you are responsible for everything that happens, and this process can be quite dramatic. I mean, just imagine you lived in a village where life was equally predictable and miserable. Sure, everyone was fed and dressed, but there was a certain je ne sais quoi missing. High above was an immense mountain. Nobody had ever climbed it. You were told many tales of those who had died in the attempt back when, and how no good can come of it. Then, one day, it is revealed to be a volcano, and the whole village is drenched in flames that come raging down the hill and kill the illusion of predictable, dead. That is a visceral example of what can happen. The mountain is your false self. The village, your life of let's pretend, in the role you learned to accept back when, and the molten rage that flows within, that is your inner child and their raw emotions that one day will yell for attention in such a way that you can't merely hand wave away. It's much better to climb the holy mountain, yes? Here's how you make it happen. Go out and pick a spiral-bound notepad. It can be cheap or expensive. You will be spending a lot of time with it. Next, get 1 red ink and 1 black pen. Pick up some candles, unscented, and here is where it gets really interesting. I want you to go and get a scented oil as well. Try and keep it natural. Like Proust Madeleine, scent can activate an intense sense of recollection of the things that previously were hidden within, under a veil of ignorance. Take your time. Pick something you like, something that makes you smile, something that is unique and only ever used for this purpose and intent, i.e., not a common fragrance. Note, do not think you can skip this by getting a scented candle. They aren't the same thing and they're quite toxic as well, so best ignore them. There is a specific order in which this is done. Ideally, you want a scent that makes you feel relaxed or calm, or something that recollects old times in your awareness. To begin with, it doesn't really matter, as the oils are merely the bridge. Later on, you're in a child and you can go shopping to upgrade your paradigm. Pick a place and time. Set aside 25 minutes each day for this practice. Close your eyes. Bring your mind to your heart. Maybe clasp your hands over it and state, "In joyful inner child, it is me, you, from the year 2026. I know I have ignored you for ever so long, and that is my fault. I light this candle as an offering to bring light to the darkness in our midst. I am now sprinkling the scent to get your attention. I bought it the other day, and I think you may like it. In a moment, I'm going to pick up the black pen in the hand I usually write with, and the other fist contains one with red ink for you to reply to the questions that I'm asking. That is it. If you wish to know the hows and whys, the candle is symbolic of stepping into the darkness where, long ago, your inner child was left behind and was forced to deal with everything they'd ever felt and all the rest you have suppressed since. The essential oil activates your limbic system, which deals with long-term memory storage, emotion, fight or flight, and ANS functions. The black ink gripped in the hand you usually write with symbolizes your present disconnection, and the red, in opposite, is a living, breathing link to your inner kingdom where the child previously dwelled without care, illumination, nor attention. Then, just ask away. Introduce yourself. Talk like they are really there and around the age of 7. Ask how they feel, and then write and reply. You will notice the ink on the page looks exactly the same as your handwriting did back when. This isn't a coincidence, but a true hint about the system and its methods of divide and conquer that we are reversing to unify and rise instead. Every day, you sit down at the same place and go through the same routine with the invocation, the scent offering, and then you push the pen for at least 25 minutes. At first it may feel awkward and fake, but I assure you, your inner child has been waiting to speak to you for a lifetime. By the time a month has passed, things get very interesting, and it's here that I recommend both of you, in your newly unifying consciousness, go shopping. Buy them the toy they always wanted. Let them pick the notepad, maybe some fancy pens. Choose the scent. One of the best side effects is how your creativity will leap unbounded. A client said their child within wanted to buy clove and orange oils. The adulterated version of her liked one but recoiled at the next, but they agreed and they were purchased. They took them home and the child said, "Watch this," and mixed together a few drops of each, and the net result smelt just like freshly baked cookies. This triggered off another immense set of memories, and it just keeps on building in resonance because it is self, capital S, directed. You may discover long suppressed events that flood into your dreams and set you free, as well as heaving immense tears you'd previously refused to shed, and all manner of emotional things. Like I said, it's very powerful, and it's literally a direct line to your inner realms. With clients, I usually pair this with a whole range of other techniques like timelines, active imagination, shadow work, etc., but that is beyond the scope of this introductory video. What I do recommend, however, is that you start drawing as well. even if you feel you have no talent, because you do. You do, my friend, and it is immense, infinite even. I wish you the best in your adventures as you reconnect with that which is pure, prime, and eternal within, that is all present and correct in the child you once was and still is, because the fourth dimension is made of vinyl, but that's another topic. The link attached will take you to an article which offers more insight and hints, along with other writings, about what it means to wear flesh in this realm and labor under the illusion of being, quote, only human. Either way, whatever kicks, it's super interesting as it shows you the immense power that was left behind in a hand you no longer write with. Say, you don't suppose those gods back when used loads of spells and rites to keep man in ignorance of his true strengths, do you? Let me know what kicks. Till we meet again.